Chairman Sergio Herrera,
Present.
Vice Chair Paula Wilson,
Here.
Jennifer Sullivan,
Here.
Janet Rios, Dr. Tanya Small,
Present.
Adetsi Suarez, Carla Gonzalez de Leon,
Present.
and Mayor Jeff Amara.
Here.
Good evening. And this is a little off the agenda. I'd like to wish, or I hope that every mother here had a very, very happy Mother's Day. And I'd like to say thank you all you moms, making it happen. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom. Neither, none of us would.
That's safe.
But yeah, I just wanted to give you all a shout out. You guys are awesome. I'd like to introduce our new board member, Aratzi Suarez. Right over there, Aratzi.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Adatsi Suarez. My professional background is in human resources management. I'm also a resident of Royal Palm Beach, and I just want to say that I'm so excited to join the board and contribute to the work being done to support students, educators, and the broader community. I'm passionate about education and lifelong learning, and I'm looking forward to listening, learning, and collaborating with all of you. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you, Aratzi. Next, I would love, and it's my honor, to present a certificate of appreciation to Ms. Carla Gonzalez de Leon.
You gonna read it?
All right. The Village of Royal Palm Beach Certificate of Appreciation presented to Carla Gonzalez de Leon. She is hereby recognized and applauded for the unselfish contribution of her time and dedicated service to the Village of Royal Palm Beach, serving on the Education Advisory Board. Given with gratitude and heartfelt thanks on this 11th day of May 2026 by the Mayor of the Village of Royal Palm Beach on behalf of the Village Council and all citizens of the village. And this commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. It is the words that speak boldly of your intentions and the actions that speak louder than words. It is making the time when there is none. It is the daily triumph of integrity over skepticism.
Great. Want to all join us down in front? We'll take a picture.
Okay, next up, and before I read before the mayor reads the proclamation honoring Dr. Jesus Armas, Marcia Andrews wrote a letter, and I'm gonna read the letter on her behalf, just with some very lovely things to say about Dr. Armas. It is with profound admiration that I offer my support for the Village of Royal Palm Beach's proclamation, which honors the legacy of Dr. Jesus Armas. With 32 years in the school district of Palm Beach County and 40 years in education, Dr. Armas has impacted countless lives. As the longest serving principal in Royal Palm Beach High School's history, 2010 to 2021, Dr. Armas helped build the culture of the school. He was instrumental in helping Royal Palm Beach High School become an IB World School and brought in several programs. He now serves as the principal of John I. Leonard High School, where his legacy continues. Dr. Armas was a valuable contributor to the Royal Palm Beach Education Advisory Board. He attended every meeting and collaborated closely with the committee to help serve the families of Royal Palm Beach. I, Marsh, am excited that the Village of Royal Palm Beach is honoring Dr. Armas for all his hard work. He is a leader among leaders, and his impact on the community is undeniable. Dr. Armas, please accept my warmest congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Well, with that as an introduction, one of the things that's always a pleasure is to thank folks who contribute substantially to the Village of Royal Palm Beach for their contributions and to recognize them for a couple of reasons. As I tell people, a lot of folks really aren't comfortable having formal public thanks, but I tell them, think about it this way. You're setting an example for others, and so be proud that you are. And be proud that you have the opportunity to actually do that and encourage others to step up and do what you've done. So congratulations to you for your work and for your contributions through the year. And I know you're going to do great things in the future. And once again, to follow up with recognition of Dr. Jesus Armas, it is my honor on behalf of the Village Council and the residents of Royal Palm Beach to present this proclamation recognizing the remarkable career and lasting contributions of Dr. Jesus Armas upon the occasion of his retirement from public service. Tonight, we celebrate far more than a retirement. We celebrate a lifetime devoted to education, leadership, mentorship, and service to others. And now I'll read the proclamation. Proclamation in honor of Dr. Jesus Armas. Whereas Dr. Jesus Armas served as principal of Royal Palm Beach High School for more than a decade, providing steady, visionary leadership to students, faculty, and families. Whereas during his tenure as principal, Dr. Armas strengthened academic excellence through the establishment and expansion of the International Baccalaureate program, opening doors for students to achieve at the highest levels. And whereas he was instrumental in bringing the Navy Junior ROTC program to Royal Palm Beach High School, fostering leadership, discipline, and a strong sense of service among students. And whereas Dr. Armas championed innovative and creative initiatives that enhance both academic and extracurricular activities, contributing to a well-rounded and dynamic school environment. And whereas Dr. Armas recognized the great value of establishing a strong, mutually supportive relationship between the schools of Royal Palm Beach and the Village of Royal Palm Beach, helping to build a lasting partnership that benefits students and the entire community. And whereas he was a valued, active participant in the Village's Education Advisory Board, further strengthening collaboration between Royal Palm Beach High School and the schools of Royal Palm Beach and the broader community. And whereas the true measure of Dr. Armas's leadership is found not only in the programs established or initiatives launched, but in the lives shaped, the standards elevated, and the enduring culture of excellence and pride he leaves behind. And whereas his legacy extends far beyond a single campus, living on through the mentorship of tens of current school principals and hundreds of other educational professionals whose leadership continues to influence students and communities across the region. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor of Royal Palm Beach and the Village of Royal Palm Beach that we do hereby recognize and honor Dr. Jesus Armas for his distinguished service as principal of Royal Palm Beach High School and for his enduring contributions to the students and community of Royal Palm Beach. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, to be affixed this 11th day of May, 2026, above my signature. Thank you so much for all your contributions. Dr. Armas, would you join me up here in front?
Well, I'm certainly humbled. Those of you who know me know that that doesn't happen often, right? But thank you so much. I really am honored. Yeah, we started way back in 2010 when Lynn Balch was the chair, and there weren't many people like this in the audience at the time. And I thought the Education Advisory Board at the time, and from what the mayor tells me, it's continued even stronger. I just thought it was a really important initiative by the village. I think, obviously, I would think that education is very important, but I think the board's role is so important in serving as a liaison between the principals and the schools and the community, because we need that. We need that voice out there, right? And I always felt that when we had a good relationship, then that would extend out to the community. And I think that that's where your value lies most, right, in your outreach and in the community. I hear all the things that, all these whereases, didn't realize that's a whole lot of them. But just when you look at 39 years, 20 as a principal, I just think back and people ask me, what's going through your head and all that, and I just think about the people, the relationships, education above most, I think, careers is certainly one based on relationships. Teachers have to create relationships with kids or they can't get them to learn. Leaders have to create relationships with the personnel and the staff and the faculty, or you can't get them to be at their optimum. So I just think it's a relationship business, and when I look back, that's what I think of, right, the relationships. And certainly you're fortunate here to have a mayor that cares about education and knows how to create the relationships with the schools. And so I just very fortunate. Had 11 years at Royal Palm out of my 20 as a principal, so it's more than half of that. And it was challenging times, but at the same time, great times, I thought. And again, it's back to the people, that are here now, right? All friendly faces that I'm leaving, y'all got to stay. But it really has been, and I certainly am, again, I'm honored by this, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Armas, for all that you've done. Just one other comment. So I believe John I. Leonard had their rehearsal tonight. Is that right, Dr. Armas? Yeah, that was a point I was going to make. So he may be gone, but he's willing to go an extra mile for Royal Palm Beach. And for that, of course, I can't thank him enough. And once again, congratulations on your retirement.
Right now, I'd like to invite anybody that'd like to say any words to or about Dr. Armas. You're welcome to come up if you feel it in your heart to share.
Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Dr. Brad Johnson, and I've been a teacher at Royal Palm Beach High School for 25 years. And I'm not going to compare Dr. Armas with my current principal, but just wanted to affirm the decision to honor Dr. Armas. It was a pleasure to work for him, and over all those years, I especially appreciated his support in the classroom, but also, as has been mentioned, he's very good and thoughtful about developing leaders. And so I'm grateful that I could sit in some of those workshops. And I even got paired with him on the golf course one day at the Village of Royal Palm Golf Course. And that was unexpected. And we won't talk about that. But I can say that the integrity is there. And tested on the golf course, the integrity is there. So thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Hi, good evening. Stephanie Nance, Crestwood Middle School. So I have known Dr. Armas for quite some time, and from the first time I met him, very direct, leads with a kid-first mindset as an educator and school leader, and it was just great being in the same feeder pattern as him. He truly is a visionary and trendsetter. And so I just really appreciate his professionalism. I appreciate his transparency. We have some very interesting meetings sometimes when he's speaking, but we know that he's leading again with a heart for kids. He's always about doing what is in the best interest of children, and he cares about his staff, he cares about morale, he cares about value and respect and extending that to others at all times. And so I have been calling him lovingly the last 2 or 3 weeks, the GOAT. So when I see him, I call him the GOAT, the greatest of all time, because he truly is reflective of just that. So Dr. Jesus Armas, I'll see you around. Congratulations.
So I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you to Dr. Armas. You are definitely a leader's leader. And when we look at the work that he has done in Royal Palm about bringing schools together, bringing people together, it's really all about the relationships. It has been my pleasure to work side by side with you. We've been colleagues for a very long time. And I always take his lead, even in my position now. Like, I pay attention and I listen because he pays attention and he listens and he helps move the needle. So congratulations, Jesus.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So I promised Dr. Armas and myself that I would not speak because I told him it's very emotional for me and I don't want to cry in front of everyone. But I've known Dr. Armas since I was 15, maybe. He was my 9th grade driver's ed teacher. He was the basketball coach. So we've done a lot of road trips together, some good, some bad. You knew when they were bad. You just got on the bus and you were quiet and you just drove back to the school, and that's, how it was. But when I went to Florida Virtual School as a teacher, Dr. Armas was the one who actually encouraged me to come back to the district. And I remember having a conversation, and he said, if you follow my lead, I'll get you to where you want to be. And I will definitely say there's not one milestone in my life as an educator that he has not been there. When I transitioned to an assistant principal, he was always my go-to. When I got my first principal position, I called him. I said, send me all of your PowerPoint presentations. He guided me through the entire process. And I remember him saying, don't worry about the adults, focus on the children. Don't worry about changing the adults, focus on the children. And I've done that, and I've always felt like in my heart, in any position, I always think about children first, and we do what's in the best interest of children. When I came to Royal Palm Beach High School, he was the first phone call because I felt that it was important for him to know first. Before my own parents knew, I called him first. And I said, I don't want you to hear this from anyone else, but I need you to know what's about to happen in about 30 minutes. So that is just, the type of leader when Ms. Wetzel says he is a leader of leaders. He's grown so many of us. And I remember telling him, I really don't know how I'll start the next school year without him because he's always been my phone call whenever, we're starting a new school year. He, outside of, being a great principal, he never misses a happy birthday. All of us can attest to that. You will get your happy birthday text message. You will get your Mother's Day text message. I don't know how he remembers it. I've tried it. I haven't been able to master it. But I'm hoping in your retirement, I will be looking for my atta girl, and I will be looking for my happy birthday text messages. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Dr. Armas knows that this is very nerve-wracking for me and my current principal. Well, I'm kind of here. So outside everything everybody else has said, and it doesn't need to be repeated, but probably my fondest every day, even with him not in the building, is not only does he care about the children, he cares about our children, our personal children that we get to see when we go home, whether they go to the school, whether or not. And whether I liked it or not, Dr. Armas definitely had a hand in raising my daughter. She went to Western Pines. She went to H.L. Johnson, but we just worked it out so that our kids got to know each other, and it was always important to Dr. Armas that Janelle was doing well. And he truly was a figure in all of our families, and if you did not allow that, then it was their mistake because they missed out on a lot, and I can't say anymore. Thank you, Dr. Armas.
So it is like family in this room because we look around and we've known each other for so long and we grew up together with Dr. Armas leading us. So yes to all of that and our families and family coming first, right? Health, family, and then work that we all love so much. But my addition to that is the relationship piece. Dr. Armas, one of our first meetings, he fired me. Just so you know, like 3 days in. I just smiled at him and I was, no. But he always promised that if, I work hard, and we grew up a relationship. And I have to say, just like Shakika said, Dr. Robinson said, that it is not a moment in my life and my career that it doesn't feel like a friend, a mentor, a father sometimes. I have been pregnant working with him and just, going to maybe a situation that I shouldn't, and he's always protected our relationships and made sure that we did go to our families and they always came first, and our work was always our family. So thank you for putting relationships first along with our students. Thank you, Dr. Armas.
Anyone else? Well, Dr. Armas, I never met you. I don't know you. Honestly, I feel like I've missed out. However, it feels like you inspired so many people that I respect here, educators that I do respect, and that's the legacy that you're leaving behind, and it seems like your legacy is in good hands. My kids growing up in Royal Palm Beach High School, I'm really happy to have them, or to basically leave them in your guys' hands to continue cultivating their education. And if it wasn't for you, obviously, you wouldn't have made such an impact on such outstanding educators here today. So with that being said, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart and Royal Palm Beach's heart. Thank you very much. Back to business. Now reports from Central Region.
Good evening. So I was going to save the moment to address, Dr. Armas until my time to be up here anyway, so I didn't have 2 trips. But he's too busy right now. We're in a commercial break at this time. So Dr. Armas has been an amazing person to work with, to partner with in leadership. And, some of our work started about 6 years ago. I didn't really work with Dr. Armas throughout the years. He was mostly in the Western communities. I'm on the East Coast. And so I didn't have that opportunity to work with Dr. Armas early on. But going into this position, one of the very first principals that I went to meet was Dr. Armas out at Royal Palm Beach High School, to learn about the Western community, the connection with the village of Royal Palm, but also to partner with him in our opportunity to be able to increase the percentage or the leaders that are bilingual. And that took a while, and it was something that we really needed to take on, because we needed to have pathways for our leaders, for our teachers to go into leadership positions, assistant principals, and so on, to be able to take on some of our schools at the elementary, middle, and high school that are bilingual, right? So that the kids can make that connection too with seeing other leaders that look like them, that are able to speak their language. And so that was one of the things, one of the challenges that we took on together with a group of us. And that was my first time that I was able to really get to know Dr. Armas. His legacy will be forever. He is a factory, and known as a factory of building leaders. And it's a funny thing that I don't think he realizes, that people really watch him when he doesn't know that they're watching. But one of the things that I've seen, whether we're at meetings or whether we are, celebrating some folks, which we just recently had, we have 4 principals that are retiring, so we got together. And this gives you just a big picture about Dr. Armas and his ability to get everybody's attention around him. He's like E.F. Hutton. So when he starts talking, everybody else is listening. And he is a great storyteller, like great storyteller. And so from afar, I was able to see Dr. Armas, animated, talking and telling a story, and everybody else just completely, just trying to capture and really thinking about that past experience that they shared together. So 39 years, we couldn't push another 5 out of you, I know. But Dr. Armas, you have done incredible work in our school district of Palm Beach County. We're all thankful for your guidance, for your leadership, for your vision. You really are amazing, and you're leaving a legacy behind, not just at the village of Royal Palm, but at John L. Leonard and all of your prior positions. So congratulations on a much-deserved next chapter in your life. You will be sorely missed, and I'm going to keep your phone number. So thank you again, Dr. Armas. All right, so back to work. As you know, our strategic plan, although it's getting ready to, we're ready to land the plane almost in 1 more year, but we're still in the midst of it with only a few action steps to go. As far as where we are right now at the end of the year, we only have a couple of weeks left. It's unbelievable how this year has absolutely flown. And right now we're in the middle of the state testing, the progress monitoring 3. And our data is pretty immediate. As soon as the kids finish testing, believe it or not, boom, we find out what they got. It's that immediate. So we are in the midst of getting all of that information and trying to figure out how our students did in comparison to other years. It looks like we definitely are moving in the right direction, but it's too early on to tell. This is really our first, we're going into our 2nd week. A lot of our schools are assessing math this week, some science, and then we will continue on with next week with the rest of our assessments. We are in the middle of graduation season. And so I hope to see you all at Royal Palm Beach High School at the graduation. I know that we've made some, accommodations to be able to make sure that you are part of that celebration. But what I am gonna be sharing with you today is that Dr. Green and also Mrs. Wetzel will be sharing the highlights of our elementary schools, middle and high, here at the Village. And I thank all of our leaders that are here. And I know that we are eager to see how well our schools have done this year again, and look forward to sharing that in a future meeting. I do know that Dr. Morgan, who was supposed to be presenting today, my understanding is you moved over to September. So I just want to make sure that we were all on the same page, because I certainly am not ready to share anything about legislature, nor do I want to. So without further ado, I will ask Dr. Green to come forward, our wonderful team member and instructional superintendent over our elementary schools here in the village.
Good evening, and Dr. Armis, I can't let you leave either without sharing my gratitude, because I've been very fortunate to benefit from your leadership work. I've supervised 2 principals that you've grown into leadership, and I might say you do excellent work. So thank you very, very much. And I've heard many stories about you. They talk about you often, and they continue to talk about you because, as they've said, you are their family. You are our family. So thank you so much. And I can't tell you how much, and when I found out we have Glades roots, that meant a lot to me. And when I met your mom and your wife, now I know where you get it from. His mom was just beautiful. So thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Moving right along, Cypress Trails Elementary School. So I was really fortunate, along with Mrs. Andrews, to attend the selection of the new house leaders at Cypress Trails Elementary School just last week. I think it was last week or the week before. They're all running together now, but it was so very, very exciting. Also happening at Cypress Trails Elementary School, their student, Fernando, was a recipient of the Resiliency Palm Beach Student of the Year Award. Cypress Trails also celebrated their kindergarten kickoff and Take Their Child to Work Day. So if you take a look at those pictures, you can see that they have been extremely busy at Cypress Trails, as they also hosted a family literacy night. At H.L. Johnson Elementary School, go Jaguars. H.L. Johnson Elementary School volunteers, as well as their student received the School Volunteer Award. They celebrated their kindergarten kickoff as well as Take Your Child to Work Day. Their students, I did not have an opportunity to see it this year, but I believe the mayor was there, the students and his beautiful wife. They were able to see Aladdin, the kids' musical, and they want you to know that their next SAC meeting will be held on May 27th. Also very, very busy is Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, and I want you all to pay really close attention to Mrs. Getty. There's a picture of Mrs. Getty and her daughter, and I don't know if you all remember when Rebecca was in elementary school and Tracy would bring her here with her to the meetings after school all day, and she would sit so patiently. Well, she's graduating in a few days, so congratulations to Tracy and to Rebecca. But Royal Palm Beach would also want you to know that the Ben Carson Scholarship recipients, Graham Miller, and Maximus Gaff, they also, Barbara Shelley was named the Bobcat Volunteer of the Year, and they are building better readers at Royal Palm Beach Elementary School. They also celebrated Take Your Child to Work Day, and they would like you to know that their next SAC meeting will be held on May 13th. And those are our elementary highlights.
So I'm super excited to share the highlights from our secondary schools. At Crestwood Middle School, you can see they had the All-Pro Dad morning meetings. What a wonderful opportunity to strengthen the bond between father figures and students. Over 20 dads and students participated and increased the engagement for male role models in school events. Royal Palm Beach High School recent highlights. Well, we can see right there that we're looking at commencement, right? Looking at graduation, which is super exciting. Monday, May 18th, bright and early at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then followed by brunch. No, just kidding. And then the scholarship success of the students at Royal Palm Beach High School, you can see $4.5 million in scholarships have already been awarded to students at school there. You can take a look and see that there are still more scholarships coming in. We are super proud of the students and the class of 2026. We have our next SAC meeting on May 19th. And if you look at the bottom, the senior class status, right? So 100% of the students have met their reading goal, 100% of the students have met their math goal, almost 82% of the students have earned acceleration points. We have 99.4 met community service, that'll be 100 in the next couple of days. And 99.63 have met the GPA, and we're looking for that to also be 100%. But that deserves a round of applause because that's a super big deal. And questions? Okay.
I did want to say one thing. We were talking about some of the initiatives that Dr. Armas helped start over at Royal Palm Beach High School. And one of the ones I'm most proud of having had something to do with is the Navy Junior ROTC program. And I say that I have to swallow hard every time because I'm Army, but the reality is that program is everything and more than what I thought it would be, and hopefully Dr. Armas has had a chance to kind of keep up with it. But one of the remarkable achievements from my point of view was there were 3 ROTC scholarships, obviously Navy ROTC scholarships, that were awarded to 3 of the cadets this year, each one for $200,000. And by the way, that comes with a commitment to serve, but that's remarkable. And then on top of that, I don't know if this is the first time we've ever had a graduate from Royal Palm Beach High School become a Navy midshipman, but we have one on the way to Naval Academy as well. So there's an initiative that has grown beyond, I think, our wildest expectations, and it comes from the kind of initiative that Dr. Armas brought to the school. So I just wanted to make mention of that.
Now, school liaison reports.
I was able to attend the SAC meeting at Crestwood last week, Thursday. It was our final one for the year. I look forward to attending both the chorus/handbells and band concerts in the coming weeks. And finally, just good luck to all the students who are continuing to test. Good luck to staff and personnel presenting this summer at ECTAC. And thank you for having me for my 2nd year in a row as liaison to Crestwood. Thanks, Dr. Nance.
I have H.L. Johnson, just quick blurbs. PM3 and end of the year academic celebrations. It's still a bit of testing scheduled this week, and then there's still a bit of testing scheduled for next week as well. So rigorous small group instruction, interventions, and standard-based learning experiences to ensure learning gains for students. The Aladdin Show, unforgettable. Musical production, showcase incredible student talent, confidence, teamwork, and creativity. It was awesome. STEAM and hands-on science learning opportunities, Green Club, hydroponics projects and Earth Day learning experiences, arts and grade level showcases, and PBIS celebrations are currently happening. Safety and community partnerships with PBSO planning for next year is underway. Teacher Appreciation Week, celebrations honoring incredible educators who served the students daily, was last week. It was awesome, to say the least. I know that a lot of the teachers were recognized. My wife was, I wouldn't say instrumental, but helpful in planning a lot of the teacher appreciation stuff. So big shout out to my wife, if she's watching. She's a fantastic mother. She was celebrated yesterday. She really was. Sweating still. Most importantly, students continue growing into confident learners, leaders, problem solvers, collaborators, and kind human beings. H.L. Johnson's teachers and staff work tirelessly every day to create classrooms where students feel safe, loved, and challenged and inspired. Their dedication goes far beyond instruction. They are building relationships, creating opportunities, and helping shape futures. Fantastic work, H.L. Johnson. Fantastic. And now, student council report.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. On March, The Student Council held the last pep rally of the year, and the theme for the very last time this year was Carnival. On March 26th, we attended our county council banquet where 2 of our members ran for the office of co-vice presidents and won. On April 2nd, the Student Council seniors attended Anything Goes, which is a field day intended to celebrate the seniors or 8th graders in Student Council across the Palm Beach County. This event was hosted by Spanish River. On March 24th and the 25th, we held our Student Council interviews after school in the Media Center for the upcoming school year. And then from April 6th to the 9th, it was campaign week. On April 8th, we did do something different this year. We had a sort of campaign fair where the candidates were able to have a table and they were able to decorate it and give out any items, any campaign materials. And then on April 10th, it was election day. The Google Forms were available via Google Classroom and were open from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. This year, we did another thing differently where we gave out popsicles and a sticker that stated, "I voted," out to those who did. On April 20th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., we held our last council event, the council banquet. During this, we handed out our superlative awards, paper plate awards, cords, and watched our senior goodbye videos. At the end of the night, we concluded with the inauguration of our new officers. I just wanted to say, though, that I am beyond proud of my student council members and beyond proud of what we accomplished this year through the club. And I hope that the club continues to grow and that we are able to implement new projects or new ideas to the school. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this now, but I would like to introduce the new student council president for the 2026 to 2027 school year. So.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emil Cardone Guevara. I am the upcoming student body president as well as the upcoming co-county vice president alongside a good friend of mine, Maritza Sierra Valentin. Now, I'm truly blessed to take after Carla Gonzalez as she's been a true inspiration to me, and whenever I thought I had my head up high, she brought me up even higher. Not only myself, but as well as the council. But most importantly, she's served as a really true friend of mine and also my ride home. But no, but truly, she's been with me since the year we came back from quarantine, middle school, my 7th grade year, her 8th grade year. But I'm truly blessed and honored to take this position to be able to serve and be able to be the voice of the thousands of students currently enrolled in Royal Palm Beach High School. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Emil. Congratulations. Look forward to serving with you. Now, statements from the public.
All right, good evening, everybody. I want to be sure I don't hold us up. This will be the first time that Dr. Armas is a part of a meeting that finishes before 7 o'clock. So I'm looking at the clock. But I want to speak on behalf of my amazing colleagues, Mrs. Getty and Dr. Amato. We, all three of us now, are hosting a senior graduate walk. And that's super exciting. And I figure we're not going to come back right until September, so we may not get to share that. But this was created by Mrs. Getty. How many years ago? 8 years ago, and it's for any student who, finished their career with us at Cypress Trails or H.L. Johnson or Royal Palm Beach Elementary School. So we at Cypress Trails and I believe H.L. Johnson were both hosting it this Friday morning. And then Royal Palm Beach Elementary School is hosting theirs on Tuesday. Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon. Yes. Got it. And Royal Palm Beach High School graduates on Monday. So Cypress Trails, H.L. Johnson are both celebrating Friday morning. Royal Palm Beach Elementary School on Wednesday morning. We wanted to share that publicly. We did put it out, I think, on our social medias. And I know we reached out directly to those graduates. Like, I opened up my old yearbook and just went through and emailed all the 5th graders from 8 years ago. So it's going to be an exciting day, and I think that that's really awesome. Mrs. Getty, created that tradition, and now all three of us are on board, and so hopefully that just creates a new tradition. So if anyone would like to join us, you're more than welcome to be there. It's going to be a wonderful time.
Good evening again. We cordially invite you to Crestwood's 8th grade promotion ceremony on May 28th, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Royal Palm Beach High School auditorium. Thank you, Dr. Robinson, for opening your doors to our faculty and staff and students. And let me just say publicly, her team has been wonderful. My team members have already gone out to her school, to the auditorium, and they have just been phenomenal in support and preparation for the upcoming event. We're very excited. It's going to be live streamed, and so a lot of good bells and whistles are coming on board for this activity, but most importantly, we just want to say thank you to Dr. Robinson again and the Royal Palm Beach High School for opening their doors. So May 28th, 7 p.m., Royal Palm Beach High School auditorium, Crestwood Middle School's 8th grade promotion ceremony. We hope to see you. Thank you.
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the Education Advisory Board meeting for March 9th, 2026.
Second.
Motion pass. Last statement, well, actually, statement. I wanted to remind everybody that well, speaking of graduations, so our scholarship award recipients, we're going to be recognizing them at the Village Council meeting on Thursday, May 21st at 6:30 p.m. I'd like to invite everybody who can come to come. It's a really awesome ceremony where we would be presenting the checks to the 11 recipients of the Royal Palm Beach, Village of Royal Palm Beach Education Advisory Board. It's why we're here, why we do it. It's the best part of what we do, at least I like to think so. And if you can make it, awesome. If you can't, just be with us in spirit. Jennifer?
Thank you. I also wanted to take a little point of privilege just to mention that this will be my last meeting, official meeting of the Education Advisory Board. I am stepping down. I have some new board opportunities. I've served for 5 years, just I think right after Dr. Armas has left Royal Palm Beach. I think I have been a liaison to every school in those 5 years. I want to just personally thank you for allowing me to serve and represent the schools in Royal Palm Beach. I want to thank Mayor Hamera for his leadership. I also want to say a special thank you to Jacqueline for all of her work herding us along on these meetings. Certainly the highlight has been the scholarship program. I'm so impressed by the students that are coming out of Royal Palm Beach. And so thank you for letting me serve. And speaking of future leaders, I will also just humbly brag that my daughter just graduated from UCF last weekend, and she is thank you. She is a graduate of Cypress Trails Elementary as well as Crestwood Middle School. So we're hoping that we'll keep the tradition of all that future leadership coming out of Royal Palm Beach and doing great things. So thanks again for the ability to say goodbye formally, and certainly I will be at the Village meeting to present the scholarships.
And I would like to thank you, Jennifer. I think you definitely set the gold standard for who a board member should be. I'm not sure if you know this, but when I was the chair, I went back and I rewatched old meetings that you led to try to see okay, how can I be like Jennifer? But you always have something wise to say, great questions, great confidence, and we'll definitely miss you on the board.
Same. I learned from you. I could have winged it, but I couldn't have done half the stuff that I'm doing now if not for your leadership and tutelage. I'm certainly going to carry that for as long as I serve on this board, and I'd like to obviously keep that tradition alive and foster and help anybody else that wants to join and be part of the board and help them in the way that you have with me and with everybody else here.
Thank you so much. I encourage anyone to join this board, and maybe I'll be back someday, but thank you. Everyone does a fantastic job here.
So, Mr. Chair, if I might just add to the thanks that we're giving to Jennifer this evening. We really obviously very much appreciate what all of you do as you talked about the Education Advisory Board role in the scholarship program. Is literally, we could not do it without you. It's one of the best things that we do in this village. It has a dramatic impact across the board on everybody, and it's through your dedication and your skill that we come up with results which are pretty remarkable this year in a lot of ways. First of all, it's the first year we've had 11 scholarships. Right? And we thank Councilmember Rich Valentes for adding to the 10 that we normally give. And by the way, just in case you want to know, those scholarships are funded at least in part by proceeds that we get from the 4th of July golf tournament, which we are now calling the Village of Royal Palm Beach Scholarship Golf Tournament. So there isn't any doubt in anybody's mind that it is a definitely worthwhile cause. And then, of course, the dedication that you all give to doing the interviews. I've sat through many of them, and I know they're kind of two-way rewarding. You walk out feeling really, really good about our future when you listen to these young men and women talk about their future and what they hope to be able to do. But it's such a great achievement and such a great example of community in action, this Education Advisory Board with leadership like what Jennifer has provided. So thank you, Jennifer, on behalf of the Village of Royal Palm Beach and the Village Council.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. My first time on the board this year, and I'm glad that I get to serve again. And I always admire that you always had questions. I'm like, oh my goodness, I would love to do that, because when people present, it's nice when we want to know more and not just make stuff up, but just, really have things that we want to know from our interest. And, it's been bothering me here. I'm like, I have to say something to my principal, Dr. Robinson. Great job this year. I remember when I first, came into your office again, and I won't go on and on because I think I told too much. You were like, I said too much to that lady. But anyways, I just love the camaraderie you have with your assistant there. They tried to, get me there to come on the team. I'm very proud of you. You're young and, vibrant, and it can't be easy to run a school. You're our only high school in Royal Palm Beach, and we're super duper proud. I think all the schools end up coming to you, right? All the middle and elementary school in our county, in our community. You worked very hard. I know you had some very, very high goals in the beginning of the school year, and I really hope it all pays off for us. Your team really make you look good, from your school and the ROTC. I know how much the mayor loves them. All right. So thank you so much for all you've done this year and all the work and all the support for you. And I tip my hat to you. Thank you.
One last thing, Dr. Robinson, thank you very much for inviting us, the mayor and the Education Advisory Board, to your senior awards. It was awesome. We were able to recognize the 7 scholarship recipients from Royal Palm Beach High School on stage. Both the mayor and I attended, and it was fantastic. I'm hoping that you can continue that tradition. As I understand it, it's the first year that we've done it. I'd like to continue doing that every year. And I would encourage the next chair to continue doing it. And if for whatever reason they're not available, I will be happy to be up there presenting awards, because it really is awesome. Like being able to recognize people and just give them money. I want to give them more money. Let's see if we can find a way to get more money so that we can present even more people, more students, more deserving students with scholarships and opportunity to continue their education, because honestly, we need more. We need more education. The more education we have, the better we're off. So thank you. Please, let's continue the tradition. Awesome.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
We're adjourned.